guys, it's Becky. How are you doing today? Thanks for coming back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about depression. And I know that that is a non-fun topic and it's not really a uplifting kind of thing, but it's a reality. And it's a lot of people's reality. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to read you a quote. And I would like you to think about what it means to you. Here's the quote. Get ready. It is, "My biggest fear is that someday everyone will see me the way I see myself." So, for some people, that means that everyone's going to see you perfect and amazing and chipper and intelligent and beautiful, and for other people it just means they are going to see darkness and sadness and loneliness and heartbreak and uneasiness. Okay, depression hits people in so many different ways, and there's so many different levels to it, and so many things that, I don't understand. I'm not an expert, not even teeny tiny percent of an expert. All I know is what I've experienced, so that's basically what we're going to talk about. This whole topic makes me uneasy, okay? I'm so bad at explaining my emotions, especially anything besides anger. Anger, I can give it to you in one look. My eyebrows will say it all, okay? Anger, face, got it. But everything else, I feel uncomfortable with it. And it's not anyone else's fault but my own. And I don't know what triggered that emotion or that lack of being able to communicate to people. I don't know. But, I have a hard time expressing being sad about something or even being happy about something. I'm the person I hate opening presents in other people, like in front of other people. Like, I hate it. Like, I dread having to do it, okay? And it's a big joke to everybody else because they're like, what are you talking about? I hate it, okay? I literally would rather not have a party than open presents in front of people. That's how bad it is. I just don't like it. It's just weird and I feel uncomfortable the whole time. And it's not because I mind being the center of attention, because I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. It's other aspects of it that bother me. But yeah, so this is going to talk about how I suffer from it. And I don't have a crippling depression. I'm not laying in bed for days. I'm not crying into my coffee cup. Not downing anyone that has that, but that's not me. My problem is more of a, since depression is an inward struggle, and I bottle things up to begin with, it just kind of adds to it, and it makes it even worse because, there's so many things that trigger depression, and you could be, eating lunch on a random Friday and mid-laugh and all of a sudden you're upset and depressed, and you can't explain it to people. You can't be like, oh yeah, I'm depressed, and they understand exactly what that means. Because if you have a broken arm and you're like, hey, my arm hurts. Oh, well, it's broken. Of course your arm hurts. I get that. If your leg is broken, same thing. If you have a gash on your forehead, hey, you might want to take some aspirin or some Tylenol. When you're depressed, they just have to take you at your word. They just have to understand what that word means, what depression means. And a lot of people don't. They don't, respond with an appropriate reaction, which makes the person who is depressed feel even worse. They feel insecure about their depression, or they feel like no one believes them. Depression is a cult, okay? And it is the worst cult. It isolates you from your friends and family, and it tells you that you're not good for anything. It tells you you're fat and ugly and stupid, and that you will never be good enough to do things. That is depression. If it was a person, we would arrest it, and it would be cellmates with, Charles Manson, because that's how mind-controlling depression is. And if you aren't strong enough to battle with that on your own, you have to have outside influences. And that can either be, drugs, or it can be therapy, or it can be an outlet. Hi YouTube, you're my outlet. But you have to be able to battle that, and a lot of people can't, and then they stay in that depressive state for a long time, and they can't fight their way out. Not because, they're a weak person, or because they don't want to, because they can't. And that's hard to explain to people. It's hard to explain to somebody that, I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? Because I am, and that doesn't come across, okay? Even saying that out loud now, that doesn't make sense, right? But if you've ever felt depression, you know what that sentence means. You know what it feels like to smile and go about your day and then go home and just feel like everyone saw straight through that, but no one said anything. And that's, what it's like. There's certain things that trigger it for some people more than others. People with anxiety, I don't really suffer from anxiety. Stress and depression, those are mine. Anxiety is not one of them. I don't, get over anxious about things. And I feel like there's a difference. Excuse me. Sorry. This is my 5th attempt to record this video, and it is now 12:30 at night. So I'm really tired. Sorry. I lost my thought. So it's hard to explain to people depression because there is no physical ailment to it. And, there's triggers for depression, and the depression and the anxiety are different aspects, and it's hard to separate those without sounding ridiculous, okay? And I don't know how to, personally, I don't know how to fix my depression. I don't know what the answer to it is. And I know I should let go and I should relax. And, this quote comes to mind every single time that someone tells me I need to relax. And it's, sleep doesn't help if it's your soul that's tired. And that's what I feel like. I feel like my soul is tired. I feel like I've been in a battle for so long that I don't know how to stop fighting. And it's not because I have an awful life or because I'm mistreated in any way. It's because, I'm depressed and I have depression. And if you were to look at my Facebook feeds or to look at my Instagram or to look at my Snapchat, you would have no idea. You wouldn't know. Okay? Because I feel uncomfortable talking about it. Right now, I'm uncomfortable. Okay? Like, so uncomfortable. And it's because you just can't express it enough. And I want someone else to know that they're not alone. And I want this to be, for the person who's up at 2 o'clock in the morning watching YouTube and they stumble across this video, to know that there's someone else out there who has the same problems and who is fighting and is going to fight with you and for you because they know what it's like. And I want to be that person because, there's things that have helped me through mine. And, whether it's reading or, a good video or late nights on YouTube that just, they brought me back. And I'm not saying that I ever was going to hurt myself or anything like that. Nothing like that. I'm just saying, there comes to a point and you're on a ledge where you don't know if you're going to come back, you mentally. And there's been things that, I've had to do to make me feel better about it, and that's, I won't sleep. I'll watch videos or I'll super read a book. Okay. Like I can probably read 500 to 600 page books in a day. Not exaggerating, because I will just feed my brain that so that I don't have to think about anything else. And that's something that depression does to you. It makes you want other things to take the place of it because you're not comfortable with your own mind. You're not comfortable with that silence. I have to have a TV on to go to sleep because I'm not comfortable with my own thoughts. And that's hard to explain to other people. My husband just thinks I'm obnoxious. In reality, I don't want to go to bed with my own voice in my head. I don't want to have to think about all the things I did wrong or what I failed at. And, the main key in my depression is something that is so personal that it's so hard for me to talk about. And, my husband is extremely supportive, and thank you. You're awesome. But there's some things that you have to support yourself in, and this is one of those situations. You know, we recently had, we're about to get real personal real fast. We recently had a miscarriage, right? And it was really hard. This was the hardest one. We've been through 4, okay, in the last 3 years, and this one was the hardest, okay? Because when you deal with that sort of situation, you instantly want to get excited, right? As soon as you see those 2 lines or pregnant or the little plus sign, you're instantly excited. Well, in some situations, in my situation, excited. And then to just have that taken away, it's hard. And, you know, this time we thought we were going to make it because we were almost 3 months in, and that first trimester is the hardest, or is, you know, the more apt to miscarriage. And I was like, oh, yeah, yes, we're going to make this one. And then we didn't. And, you know, thank God we hadn't told everybody, so I didn't have to go back and untell, because that's the worst thing. But it's just so difficult to tell yourself that it's going to be okay. And I utterly hate the expression, everything happens for a reason. Like, it infuriates me deep down. Like, there is a space saved in hell for that expression. And I would rather listen to Hitler's poetry, okay, than hear someone tell me that. Because I feel like there is no way that everything happens for a reason. Some things just happen, but not for a reason. Because I want you to be able to look me in the eyes and tell me what the reason was for that miscarriage. Tell me. I want you to be able to tell me that. I want you to tell, you know, somebody who just lost her parents in a horrific accident, why? Come on. And if you can't, don't use that expression. It really makes me that mad. No joke. Like, deep down mad. You know, and so that whole situation makes me depressed. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't. Except for to try and get past not talking about it. And that's what I'm doing. And I want other people to know, you know, that you're not alone. And I'm not saying that, you know, in order for me to have any positive influence, you have to be depressed all the time, or, you know, you have to suffer through miscarriages. I'm not saying that. It could be anything, okay? Because anxiety, depression, stress, they are all things that cannot be measured. You cannot put a pain scale on your depression. You can't say, well, I'm an 8 today. Okay, it just doesn't work that way. And it's hard to explain to people who don't have it. So therefore, a lot of people don't believe you when you say those things. And I know, and, you know, when my kids get a little older, they're going to experience things that, you know, makes them question themselves. And I want them to be able to look back on these videos and go, well, hey, my mom, who, you know, they think I'm like the strongest person ever, because I am, kids. Just kidding. You know, my mom had issues too, and she made it through, and, you know, she got up and made us breakfast the next day. And, you know, anybody else who has those problems, I want them to be able to do that too. And I think that that is very important. And that's really all I want to say. And you know, I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this and listen to me rant and rave about, you know, well, not really rant and rave. I was really calm. I have a pen in my hand because this makes me so uncomfortable. I have to fidget, and, you know, I don't mind. I could speak in front of 100 people and not have to fidget. But this topic makes me feel that uncomfortable. This topic does. Just so you know. But I appreciate it. And I hope that you give this video a thumbs up so that hopefully it'll circulate enough and someone will find it and they'll listen to it and they'll feel a little better about themselves and they'll have a better day. Because if we're not here to make someone else feel better and to fix their day, why do this kind of stuff? So like and subscribe down below, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you come see me again. Thanks. Bye, guys.